What up, folks? I'm Ultrazilla, and about a year ago I said I wasn't going to do any more comparison videos. Well, I'm going to make an exception because I got an interesting one to do here. We got two brand new lines of articulated Godzilla figures. We got the Godzilla action figure line, which started earlier this summer from Bandai, and now we have the Super KAIJU line from Super7. The reason why I decided to do this, even though, usually my comparison videos have been two figures that were, the same figure, we don't have that here. But we do have two brand new lines. Both are kind of like a mid-range line of figures. They're not like super cheap, but they're not super expensive. My guess is they're aimed at kids or just people, just that want articulated Godzilla figures that are on a budget. But for our sake, we're gonna go with the kid angle here because we have our resident kid here in attendance with us today, and that is
Ultrazilla Jr.
And Ultrazilla Jr. is going to lead this comparison video, and he's gonna let us know because I've already given my opinions on both figure lines, on all of these figures, except you haven't seen my Godzilla -1, which is the latest one from the Godzilla action figure line. You will see that review coming up next week. However, I want to know Ultrazilla Jr.'s opinion on these figures, and see what a kid thinks of these, and, which one, at least this kid, would go for. So Ultrazilla Jr., these are the Super7 Super KAIJU. Just came out. Godzilla 89.
Yes.
Mechagodzilla 93.
Yes.
And so far in the Bandai line of Godzilla action figures, we have Godzilla -1.
Uh-huh.
We have Final Wars Godzilla.
Yes.
And KAIJU back there.
Okay.
The Super KAIJU come with one piece of building each that you could put together, right?
Yes.
And then you can take apart. And the Godzilla action figures come with a beam mouth, which Godzilla 04 and Mechagodzilla there have in their mouths. And this is the Godzilla -1 version. So they come with beams. So let's start there. What do you like better? Do you like the accessory to be a beam, or do you like the building idea?
The building idea is cool, but I mean, the fact that just like you poke it and it pops off is annoying. It's like maybe if like it could connect a bit better than like when you hit it with this guy, it pops off. But it's like you don't even have to actually smash it. You just gotta poke it and it falls off. So I like the beam accessory better because it's just cooler, and well, it's just weird to have like a pop-off building. So
All right.
I like the beams.
Now, as far as articulation, now Ultrazilla Jr. has had a chance to play with these. We know that at least Godzilla here, he has a bendy wire tail. Mechagodzilla does not have a bendy wire tail, but his tail's not articulated. But most Mechagodzilla 93 figures don't have articulated tails.
Because they're short.
Right. And these guys, are fully articulated, though not like super articulated. Neither line have like waist joints, just to mention that. So what do you think?
For the articulation, all I want to say is that these are much looser. Well,
Which ones?
I would
The
say
Bandai ones?
I would say yes, the Bandai Namco ones. It's like this one especially. It's like everything here is just like floppy. Like,
Is it?
not floppy. It's just like super loose and like all that and stuff. So I guess he's especially floppy. This Godzilla -1 is like a bit more stiff, but his arms are still floppy. KAIJU is he's the least floppiest one. Well, the arms are all pretty floppy, but the legs, they don't flop that much. These guys are more stiff, meaning it's like It's like you actually have to put effort into moving their arms. Like, oh, maybe like over here and that. That's kind of easy, but it's like if you actually try to pull it like over here, it's kind of hard and annoying. So.
What do you think of the bendy wire tail?
The bendy wire tail. It's underwhelming. Like, it's gonna. Ugh. It's like. It's not really like. It shouldn't be called bendy wire. It's just like a movable. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the lesser version of a bendy wire.
So it's not so bendy.
It's not bendy. It's just like it's very stiff, so wiggling.
All right, and compare that to like one of their tails. What do you think?
It's
now their tails have like 3 joints. You see it best on Godzilla -1 because we're missing a joint on Godzilla 04.
The last joint, you barely move it, so I would only count it as like 2 joints.
Well, it is 3 though.
It is, but it's like you don't really. I mean, you could move it like this and stuff, but it shouldn't really move like that. So I used this. It moves pretty well, and this moves a lot too. So that's cool. Well, I guess.
I feel like they're almost like the same as far as articulation.
Yeah.
I think this one has more joints because it has like the wrist joints and stuff, and this one does not. Yeah. So
like this brand, like the Bandai Namco brand has more joints, like maybe just 1 or 2 more. The Super KAIJU line is less joints.
So, but which one do you like better?
I can't really say, because, like, detail-wise, I say the details on these guys. Well, maybe the face is a little weird.
Well, I mean, articulation.
Oh, articulation?
Yeah, which one do you like the articulation more
of? They both have, the bad and good things about it. It's like, I like that it has lots of things that you can articulate, but the tail is, you can't really articulate that last one. But...
Well, you've handled some of my SH Monster Arts figures, which are super articulated. Like if you needed a cheap alternative to one of those, which one would you pick?
Oh, okay. I would choose this one. There's much more articulation in it.
Okay.
It's like the most. It's like the wrist, the arms barely move. You could move the thing, the shoulders, and that's okay, but the head's kind of weird moving. Well, it's the same thing for these guys, but I feel like this guy you could do that and stuff. But with this guy, it's just like...
So, I guess the Bandai, right?
I think the Bandai.
Alright, so you started talking about, the way they look. So why don't you go ahead and get your opinion on that.
The details on this, like, you see how his shoulder looks very, like, muscle-like? That's Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's like, the details on it, like, the very little ones, they're the best. The face looks weird.
Well, you saw my short on these guys, the Godzilla Battle Line short,
It
which is
does.
not the intention, or else I would say so, but...
It does.
It does look like Godzilla Battle Line figures, which is making me kind of like him a little bit more, But, and you've played a lot of Godzilla Battle Line, so I don't know how you feel about that.
So, I really like this Mechagodzilla a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay, cool.
I like it. It's because... It's like he doesn't even have much details, just like the legs and stuff. And he does have details. So they did the details very good with this one. It's like, if you look at KAIJU, it's like, it's... the beams in the way.
Yeah, sorry, I can't find this joke.
It's like, it's all like smushed together and like, it's like the thing I don't like is like when like the paint is like smushed together and in their like in between their bodies parts.
Like you can't really tell the detail basically.
Yeah, you can't even tell there's a line.
Yeah, it's like soft. We call it soft sometimes.
Yeah, I don't like
so
that.
That's a soft sculpt, yeah.
I don't like that.
Same thing with the Godzilla figures. Like if you look at him, like like you can't really.
So weird looking.
So.
It's just. So the detail is much better for the Super 7 line.
Mm-hmm.
The Bandai Namco line, not so much. It's like, yeah, not much detail.
So you like these better?
I like, yes, and design-wise, I like them better.
Okay, very cool. All right, so another thing I want to ask you is, what do you think of the boxes? Now, I know you don't care much about them, but I do. Like, when I see stuff in the store, I'm like, oh, those boxes looks kind of cool and stuff. If you saw these, you know, imagine they were in the boxes, they're not. But if you see these in store and you see these boxes, you know, would you be like, ooh, cool, by the boxes?
I would definitely be like this. I would like, this one's cool, but it's just like the way.
You can turn them around too. Go ahead. Look at them.
That looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
This looks cool. That looks cool. This is very well, it looks cool-ish, but it seems very general. And this just looks like some
generic, you mean?
It looks generic, and this looks like playish. Like,
I've never liked that image. That image has been used a lot.
It's so clayish and stuff. I don't like it. So I would say, the box wise, I would think this looks much cooler and stuff, because this just looks like the blue. It's the blue. It's like the blue and it's like, that's like the generic. It's like the generic thing, and I don't like that. It's like, it makes it look like very like a bland series.
Ah, very interesting.
So this one's like, I don't know. I just feel like for Godzilla boxes, black looks best.
Okay, well, there's a lot of black on that too, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, so the final thing I want to ask you about is one for me in my reviews, at least of the Super Kaiju this week, has been a big talking point, and that is the price of these. Okay, so the Super Kaiju line, again, you get one building piece and a figure in this box, is about $35. I think $35.99 or something like that, right?
Okay.
The Godzilla action figure line are roughly around $25 each, but they've gone up a little bit too in spots. Like Amazon, for some reason, the price is like gone all over the place.
27?
Some have been 27. I think that's what Mechagodzilla's at. For some reason, Godzilla was at 30, but then it went down. But when it first came out, it was like $12.99. I don't know why. This guy has been $25 pretty much across the board, and you can still pre-order this guy on Amazon. So the price is around $25. Let's say around $25. And these are 5. You know, and you get beam with this one. These are slightly taller too. There's something to think about.
Yes.
You know, that's something you haven't mentioned either. That they're slightly taller figures than these, if that matters to you. So let me know what you think. You know, I know me, if I was buying them for you, you know, I'd probably obviously go with like the cheaper line, because I feel like a little bit bigger figure, you get the beams, whatever, you know, a little more articulation. However, if you were spending your money as a Godzilla fan, what would you do?
Okay, so I would probably get this line.
Which one?
This line.
Yeah?
The Bandai Namco one. Even though, like, the details are not as good, that's probably because it's $10 cheaper. And it's like, it's just that, like, how do you, like, what material do you make the toy figures out? Well,
plastic, you know?
Yeah,
PVC
plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, plastic. It's like, you gotta use more plastic to make this, since it's bigger than you have to do with this. Meaning that it's like they're basically using more money to make this, while this is just like it takes less money. It probably takes less money to make this.
Well, one thing to talk about here is these are exclusive to Target. So you could only buy these at Target, this line. These you could buy pretty much anywhere where toys are sold, right? So this is going to have a much bigger, now, you know, follow me here, much bigger production run, which means they're gonna make a lot more of these, which means they can make them for a little bit cheaper. Super 7 probably, you know, are based on orders, so the orders from Target, based on that, is how many get made, how many Target wants. So that probably, I mean, it doesn't probably, I know that factors into the price of how much things cost, because the more you make, the less a factory charges you. So that goes into the, you know, pricing a little bit. However, it's still the prices they are.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know, it's all about which one you like better and how much you would want, you know, like, to spend.
Okay. So, say I would probably get this. For money-wise, I'll get this one.
Right.
This line. I mean, it looks good generally. It's just that like the paint on Godzilla and not too much details is like all that's not that good about it. Articulation-wise, I like it a lot. So that's good. I like the beams. So it's like I could just get like say if like you had an allowance, you got like $5 per week,
right,
or something. They have to probably wait like 4 or 5 weeks to get, like, no, you have to wait 5 weeks to get this. While this is like, you gotta wait like 8.
Right.
So, it's like, getting this isn't as good. If you have like an allowance and a budget, this would be much better.
Right.
It's like, so if you like had some extra money left, you get yourself some Slurpees.
Now, if money is no object, which figure line have you liked better? Which one have you liked playing with better? Which one, you know, is just more fun for you? So if they're all the same price.
If they're all the same price, like 25?
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of hard. It's because it's the accessories that
make it more fun.
The accessories on this is much better. It's like, if you want to like pose them for fun or something like that, like making them shoot beams at each other, that would be much cooler looking than just like having this like wobbly
okay.
whatever.
Ultrazilla Jr. does not like the buildings. Noted.
the wobbly goo. Wobbly goo. So it's like, I would prefer these beams rather than this wobbly goo.
Okay.
So
overall?
So I would think I would like this one.
Okay.
Because even though it doesn't look as good, that won't matter to a kid. It's like, yeah, to adults who are like collectors, that would probably matter. But to a kid, this would be better.
Overall.
This would be better overall.
Right.
Because the accessories are funner, and it's like, it's just really cool. So this would probably be funner to a kid.
Okay.
This
for you.
Okay. This would be funner for me. Any kid.
Right.
This is just like a low budget adult toy. That's how I would explain it. Kids could still play with it, but it's like, there's not much to do. It's like the chest and the articulation just like not good.
So even if it was the same price, you still think the other one, the Bandai's better?
It's fun. It's funner.
Okay.
The box is cooler. That's probably because it's, I don't know.
It's just cool.
It's cool.
It's a cool box.
It's just cool.
Kudos to the designers at Super 7. I said that already. I like the boxes.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yep.
The box probably wouldn't matter to a
Right.
kid either. So it would be this.
Okay.
For a kid and for me, this would be much funner.
Since you are a kid.
Yes, since I am a kid. This would be much funner. Much funner.
Alright guys, and there you go. I think that was a much better way, a much, more accurate way to bring back the comparisons, at least for, as a one-off, because I just felt like, I needed a kid's opinion on this, because and this is what these are aimed at for. And you know, like I as an adult, I can only say so much on how I think of them, but I think Ultrazilla Jr.'s opinion here, like, is pretty valuable for comparison, and I thank you, sir. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys let us know down below how you felt about what Ultrazilla Jr. talked about in this video. And if you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content, and let me, and Ultrazilla Jr. sometimes, help you with
especially me.
With your collection.
I'm a very good reviewer.
Oh yeah. All right.
Do not underestimate me, because I'm not on the channel too much. Do not underestimate me. I'm a good reviewer. Okay.
Alrighty. And until next time.
Peace out, peeps.